Victoria's breadbasket, the King Valley in the state's northeast, is one of Australia's oldest gourmet regions. Resembling a patchwork quilt of vineyards, the valley's rich Italian influence benefits the taste buds of thousands of visitors every year. But for the riders in the Subaru National Road Series, it's all about the perfect cycling terrain of the San Miranda Wines Tour of the King Valley. The Subaru National Road Series comes to northeastern Victoria for the women's only NRS race, so it's fantastic for the ladies to get out there and have all of the attention on themselves. The National Series leader, Ruth Corset, comes in with a narrow 2-point lead over Lizzie Williams, but Lizzie Williams isn't going to be here this week.
Us Holden girls are ready to race and looking forward to this tour. I think it'll be quite interesting. The time trial will definitely play a big part.
It's all about getting into that high heart rate and just fronting the fact that you're going to have to be in that for 30 odd minutes, and I think that's what makes a time trial really nerve-wracking.
And it's a difficult first stage here out the front of Del Zotto Wines, 20-kilometre individual time trial. The riders to watch in the first time trial, of course, Bridie O'Donnell, Rebecca Wysack and Ash Ankudinoff, 3 very good time triallers.
It's pretty great to start with a time trial actually. It's really going to set GC up, and there could be some reasonable time gaps I think between some of the women who are looking towards winning this.
The early pace was set by the Under-19 Junior World Championship silver medalist Alexandria Nichols, riding for the Suzuki Brumbies team. The first of the big favourites out on course was the silver medalist from the Australian Championships, Bridie O'Donnell, and she looked strong on the uphill out to the turnaround. Rebecca Wysack from Suzuki Brumby looked very comfortable out on course and was quickly into her rhythm.
I was one of the last riders off, so we had the benefit of having some time checks earlier on. Unfortunately, the wind picked up about an hour into the competition, so it did, I think, disadvantage us a little bit later on. Heading out, I thought I had a headwind, and then I got to the turnaround point and I realised the way back was the headwind.
Starting 1 minute behind Wysack was Ashley Ankudinoff from Specialised Securitor, and she was hoping to close that gap down over the 20 kilometres.
I just made sure I was in a good rhythm, picked my gears right, didn't go out too hard, and so I had enough to get me home.
The current series leader, Ruth Corset from the Holden women's cycling team, certainly is a pocket rocket and best known for her climbing ability, but she can do a mean time trial as well.
I wanted to try and use the uphill to my advantage and went quite hard on the way out.
Powering to the line with the new best time was Bridie O'Donnell from Total Rush Racing with a time of 31:20. But closing in right behind her was Rebecca Wysack, 29:24 across the line. That impressive time by Wysack was starting to look impossible to beat, and as Ashley Ankudinoff came to the line, she was 1 minute and 16 seconds slower, but second best for now. After perhaps going out too hard to the turnaround point, Ruth Corset faded somewhat in the closing kilometres, and she came across the line with a third best time, 1 minute 41 seconds behind Wysack.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to win the time trial, stage 1 of the tour, and obviously it gets me in a really great position. I didn't know that I'd obviously won when I crossed the line. I felt pretty strong, and I knew at the turnaround that I was ahead of some of the main contenders. So I'm really thrilled to pull off the win for Suzuki Brumbies.
Stage 2 of San Miranda Tour of the King Valley. We're here at the lovely Wangaratta Aerodrome. We've got a 38-kilometre race here, 12 laps of this beautiful circuit, 3.2 kilometres in length, so it's actually quite long. We've got 3 intermediate sprints today, which will surely liven up the race. No time bonuses on those, though, unfortunately. But it's sure to be a fast race. We've got Ash Ankudinoff that'll surely be sprinting hard and trying to take the win, and then Rebecca Wysack that is in the leader's jersey at the moment that'll be wanting to hold on to that. I think it is going to be aggressive, as there's a bit of time gap between the top 10. So yeah, we're going to certainly attack and make the race hard, and if it comes down to a bunch sprint, I'll be definitely looking for the likes of Beck Wysack and Ruth Corset to sprint against.
The race was really fast from the get-go today. Straight from the gun, everyone was on it, and it was a really aggressive stage, which is what we expected. Our plan was going in was to be as aggressive as we possibly could, but also not to do too much work. It wasn't really on us to chase everything today, so we were trying to get some of the other teams to do it, but When it came down to crunch time, we just had to chase it down and be aggressive and attack ourselves as well.
After the first sprint, I noticed that my chain was skipping a bit and I wasn't keeping power down, so I came back thinking it was a wheel, changed that, got back out. Not so good. Into the second sprint, again had another mechanical, found out that my chain was, well, a link was broken, so the chain was kind of buckled, which isn't ideal, and pretty much thought my race was over, but magically somebody happened to have a quick link, somebody else had a chain breaker, a mechanic showed up, worked his magic, chained back together, and I was back out there. So, and just in time for the third sprint, which is great because I got a little bit angry and got out there and won that.
It was a technical course, so a lot of corners and quite gravelly, and there were 3 sprints throughout the race, which also made it quite aggressive. The most decisive attack was Taylor Evans halfway through the race. She ended up getting a good gap, but was brought back again.
Was hoping someone that would come with me, but ended up out front solo, and then I thought I got a significant gap, so I just thought try and keep it going. Coming up to a sprint lap, so I knew they'd chase me down hard. And
with all the attacks neutralised, as the peloton received the bell for 1 lap to go, we were guaranteed to see a bunch sprint.
Thought I'd lead it out. Alexandra Nichols did a brilliant job pretty much all the way down the back straight of keeping the pace high. I was just on her wheel, Ruth was there, and yeah, just kind of head down and went to the line, and lucky I was strong enough to hold everyone off. I'm ecstatic. I think, yeah, it's just a perfect day really. Our team did a brilliant job today, Suzuki Brumbies, of keeping everything together. That was the main objective, was to stay safe, stay out of trouble and keep the GC, and to win and extend my lead is, yeah, it's just amazing.